Hi, and welcome to our Mother's Day edition of Citizens of Reality. My name is Toussaint McCastle, and I'm going to start us off. I'd like to say thank you to my mother, Betty McCastle, for being everything to me. During that time, she was my mother and my father. I'd like to say thank you to Miss May Lyon, who has introduced my father to me since I didn't really have a relationship with him growing up, but I do now. So thank you for being there for me now, especially now that my mother's gone. I'd like to say thank you to ladies of the church like Mother Irving and Mother Rogers, who never let me get out of line and made sure I felt love as well as a little bit of discipline when necessary. I also want to say thank you to ladies like Miss Lois Trost, Mrs. Elkins, uh, my my other mothers, may she rest in peace through marriage, Auntie Marie, Auntie Vern, and I'd like to say also thank you to my sister and happy Mother's Day to all these ladies. To both my sisters who are mothers, Veronica McCastle and to Genoa Keaton, excuse me, who's newly a mother down in Kentucky. Happy Mother's Day to you all. And a special happy Mother's Day to Mother Edna, who was Njoma Yale's mother, and she took very good care of us like we were our own children, and we'll love you forever.
Absolutely. Yeah. I would like to wish a happy Mother's Day to all of the women that have had a positive, beneficial role in my life. It's too many to run through the names, but there are four that I really want to speak out about. Um, to those women that I had a romantic relationship with that are mothers, I want to wish you all a happy Mother's Day, and I will speak about the role that you all had in my life, ideally in a future episode. But being that these are more so like caregivers, I want to first and foremost give thanks to my grandmother, um, Miss Dorothy Gray. Uh, she was the first person from the time that I was born outside of my biological mother that really went above and beyond to make me feel like a human being and let me know and guide me into helping me explore whether it was art, reading, all the different things that I was interested in. She went out of her way to make sure that I was able to explore those things. I want to say Happy Mother's Day to my mother. My mother, I lost my mother at 15, 2 months before my 16th birthday. But those 15 years of life that I had with my mother, she dedicated her entire life to making sure that me and my sister would be prepared to be able to navigate and exist within America as minorities, without any type of guidance or adult supervision, so to speak. If we found ourselves in that particular circumstance, unfortunately, we did find ourselves in that circumstance because of another one of the women that I really want to talk about, and that is my father's sister, um, Barbara Brown. Um, before my mother's death, my aunt was the person that went out of her way to pretty much try to make my life as happy as possible. And after my mother's death, she did everything possible to allow me to not be so filled with the worry and fear of the possibility of me and my sister being either in foster care, being separated, or just a whole variety of negative things that could have taken place. When my mother died, my aunt came in and she went above and beyond, and I will forever be thankful and grateful to her. And with that, um, my aunt Irene Gray, um, although she was my aunt by marriage, there's so much positivity and so much love that she brought not only to me but to the entire Gray family. And I know that I might be speaking for me, but I feel comfortable speaking for the entire Gray family and saying that one of the best things that could have ever happened is when my uncle married you. And then lastly, I want to give a special thanks out to my sister at this time. As happy Mother's Day for her. Today, one of my nieces, my sister's firstborn daughter, is graduated from Michigan State University today. So it's a very, very positive, happy day today. And there is absolutely no way that I can be the person that I am today without having my sister in my life. So.
Well, I'm just going to keep mine simple. I just want to say Happy Mother's Day to my grandmother and my mother, Betty McCastle and Veronica McCastle, who I would affectionately call Nan and Batwoman. I wouldn't have made it this far without their cheering me on and keep me in line and to sometimes give me a headache and a hardship by way of a stick or teaching me a bought lesson.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Absolutely.
The switch was mighty. There was more than, not too many times, but I will admit that there was the occasion, especially with my grandmother, where she would have to instruct me to go out to the backyard and pick out my own switch. And if I picked out one that was a little too flimsy and she had to pick it out myself, I was going to be real sorry for it. So.
That's the story that I have from Nan. But I thought I got smart and I cut the switch bush down little by little on the days I was not being switched. I thought I was going to get to jump on her. So I went out there and tore the switch bush up on her. And so I could go in there and not have to lie and say they're only this big. All of them. You can go check for yourself. Because I had pruned the switch bush.
Yes.
But to be honest, it was more of a threat.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to disappoint her. Nan's approval was always important to me.
Aunt Marge, her and your Nan were the dynamic duo.
I thought that was Aunt Diana and Nan.
Oh, Aunt Diana too. But your grandmother, and Happy Mother's Day to both of those ladies. May they rest in peace. Aunt Diana and Aunt Marge. Either one of them with your grandmother was hell on wheels for whoever they had to deal with them.
Yeah, they took me on some adventures. I went with Aunt Diana. She used to have that New Yorker and come smoking the long cigarette with Nan. They'd be smoking those long cigarettes together and having a good time. Man, I can definitely appreciate the investment of, I don't know, everything that somebody needs to be, I don't know, fertilized and grown.
Okay.
I feel like a plant that they nurtured. My mother and grandma. The things that I appreciate Nan for are very different than I appreciate Batwoman for. Batwoman has taught me all the bought lessons and how to avoid and to recognize when somebody's being shady and unfair with me, because I learned them firsthand with her. But Nan taught me things like how not to be a thief. I remember she gave me the whipping of my life because I couldn't figure that I was stealing. This is always the whipping I always remember. And it's probably one of 10 whippings she gave me in my entire life. Maybe 10. But she taught me not to steal by, I was in the first grade or second grade because I had the same teacher both of those years, Miss Balicki. And she We had the line paper to learn how to do cursive and
Manuscript.
yeah, print. And it was green with blue lines.
The red dots.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes. I remember this paper vividly.
Yes, indeed.
Because she also had white paper like it.
Mm-hmm.
And I took some of that white paper and green paper and drew on it at lunchtime. And when she asked me why my pencil was in my lunchbox, I told her I was using it at lunch to draw. And she discovered that I had taken a cache of the class's paper. I mean, I didn't have that much, like, in retrospect, but it was quite a bit for a first or second grader because I had folded it up hamburger style, like she taught us, and put it in my lunchbox and drawn on it. And when she told me I had stolen it, I gave her the craziest reply. I said, "No, I didn't steal this. This is the paper for me because I'm a part of this class." Man, she penned a note on me and sent me home with that note talking about Vincent not only steals, he lies. But I really hadn't thought about I was lying because it was my.
That wasn't. I mean,
my rationale.
That was a good ride. I wouldn't have come with you. I mean, she could have came at you a little bit differently.
She said,
You know?
"Why was?" She said, "Oh, you've been taking the class's paper." I said, "No, I'm just taking my portion because I'm a part of the class."
Right.
Wow.
That was my rationale.
You weren't doing anything malicious.
No, it wasn't malicious, but that whooping was. I mean, she's not the best cook because her mother never wanted her to cook. That's what she tell me every time.
Daryl can attest to Nan being the best damn cook because I changed his life.
Butter fried chicken.
Butter
Butter
fried.
fried.
And the one that went in the mail. Was it the one that went in the mail?
The one that went in the mail.
So I was there when it was being fried and packed.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I know that. That's a care package
Oh
that
my
went to
God.
Michigan State.
Yeah, it was there. You know.
I was there for that.
Yeah.
And Nan took so much care and pride. I remember we went to get the Crisco for it, the yellow Crisco.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't even understand. We were sitting up there with me, Quasi, and two. And we sitting up there, and he's like, you know, yeah, man, my mom sent me this chicken. First of all, just
It was in a white box.
Just the thought that it was mailed, right? That's gonna throw you off right there. But we hungry, okay?
Our
So we
college
like,
guys.
we gonna have to try, right? But still, nevertheless, it's like this can't be good. It's, you know.
Mailed
And then he
chicken.
said, "This butter fry. What are you talking to? Like butter fried chicken? Like?" And I'm thinking, like, oh my God! So you got one of these black cast iron skillets, and you gotta have about 7 sticks of butter in it. He's like, "No, it's in the oven. You put it in the oven." Like,
I was there for that.
I
remember going shopping for that stuff.
I don't know, man. He was like, "Just go ahead and try some." I'm still probably like, that's like a million dollars about 15, 20 years later. But it was like, wait, whoa.
Fried chicken
What was
in
that?
the mail.
What
Man
was
on
that?
to something, wasn't she? Long before his time.
See, yeah, my grandmother didn't live long enough to see me or have an opportunity to send me anything like that, you know, as far as school, but just as simple as like the drive-in. That would be the technique. Like, okay, we're going to the drive-in. Either her or my mother, somebody would fry some chicken, some palo bread, some fries, some red pop. Just load that all into the back seat. Some pound cake. You know, some homemade lemon ice cream.
Oh wow!
Oh my God! Yeah. See, it was just skills that, you know, like my grandmother. We would go. She had a homemade ice cream machine, and we would go get some rock salt, get some ice, and get the flavorings and all that, and the cream, and not sit there.
That's cool.
Sit there and just be churning for hours. Like, yeah, you making this ice cream.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Man, that's another good memory with Nan. Nan filled me up with good memories.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Picnics. And she never really called it a picnic, an outing to the park. It was, you know.
No, that's because it was just something that we did. It wasn't special until you got old enough to appreciate it.
But she packed these. You wanna know what? I've got a part of the style and the level of class that I'm used to is because of Nan. So my expectations, so it's made it hard to date girls.
I was just gonna say that.
Because Nan raised the bar so high
I was
for
just gonna
me.
say that. I was just gonna say that.
And my mom too. Man.
Yeah.
You know, how I've always seen it, my mother went to work and made some money so she could take care of me, right? And Nan did all the stuff with me. My mother that is why that's my love language. It makes sense now. Just sitting here at this moment, I want to buy my children stuff and take them to cultural places. That's what I want to do. Now their mothers are not cooperative, right? But my love language is that way because it is the blend of how Nan would do stuff with me and how Batwoman would plan stuff, like to go to see cats. I'll never forget, my mother has taken me to so many stage plays growing up and cultural events. So when I do those things, or going out on a date with a young lady, those are the things that I do.
It's deep. It's do the same
I'm
thing.
connected.
Same thing. I don't do this for every woman, but every woman that I've been involved with that I perceive as being special enough for me to think about actually engaging in a relationship, I always unintentionally fall back. Well, I won't even say unintentionally. I always fall back into the same outing that my mother would take me and my sister, and it was basic, low cost, but it really as time went on, it really let me kind of gauge where a woman or girl when I was younger, where her head was at, and that would be is that being poor, my mother's outing for me and my sister, that was very cost effective, but culturally stimulating. She would get some lunch meat, make some sandwiches, pack a brown bag lunch up for me, her, and my sister, and we would get on the Linwood bus, and take the Linwood bus downtown, and ultimately we would get downtown, and we would make our way from downtown, go back up Woodward, and we would find ourselves first at the main library. Go to the main library, and that's where I learned, the Dewey Decimal System and the card catalog, and it was nothing like the sensation of my mother telling me, like, on those Saturday mornings, like, you can check out 3 books, go find you whatever you want. We go find it, and we check it out, and and just the excitement of, like, I'm going to have at least 3, maybe 4 books that I'm going to be able to go back and read and take my time, and we go there and we read, and she sit there and let me and my sister find the books, read some of the books there. We eat our lunch, then we go over to the historical museum and walk the streets of old Detroit, the cobblestones, and see the train and all that. And then if money was good, we might go to the Science Center. But just that area right there, the Art Institute, the Historical Museum, main library, I see something in you. You might be the next one. I'm taking you down here. We're gonna spend a day at the Art Institute, Historical Museum, and the library, and I'm gonna see where your head is at. You know what I mean? If you're not feeling this, if you like, why are we not going to the club? Why are we not going there? Then you're probably not the one I want to be with. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
That resonates with me. That's Batwoman's trip.
Well,
I know we gotta move on.
Oh no, it's not about moving on, but I do want to say one final special happy Mother's Day to Shalia Marie Singleton Campbell McCastle. Without you, I couldn't celebrate Father's Day. Thank you. Happy Mother's Day.